You are listening to Smart Women's dating podcast, Valentines edition. Welcome to Smart Women's dating podcast. I am your host, certified life coach Lærke Nielsen, and I help smart, independent women attract the love they deeply desire without having to chase or settle. This podcast will give you the mindset tools and insights you need to finally crack the code to your love life. Are you ready? Then let's go! Hey there, welcome to this bonus edition of the podcast. How are you today? How do you feel about Valentine's Day? Do you feel triggered by all the heart-shaped chocolate boxes, pink balloons and flower bouquets? Does your brain tell you stories about how everyone else seemed to have figured it out and found the love of their life, and you are the only one left who is still single? Because then you'll want to listen to today's episode, and you want to do that even if you're not triggered. Because today it's about how to change the way you think about being single and how loving your single life is the best thing you can do for your future relationship. But before we get started, what are you actually doing tonight? Have you signed up for my free workshop at 8 p.m. Central European Time? Because if you don't have other plans, then why don't you go and sign up for that? This is a workshop where I'm going to share some powerful shifts with you that you can do to access your feminine energy so that you will feel better and more empowered in dating while you attract the man of your dreams. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about when I say feminine energy, don't worry about that. I will explain the concept of polarity and how this works in creating attraction, and you will also understand why being successful in career and professional life doesn't always translate into being successful in dating. In fact, it's very normal to feel more confident and competent in your professional life than you do in your love life. And one of the reasons is that what we become really good at, and that's working in our career, it actually can play against us in love. So come and hear more about this and ask me all the questions you want about love and dating. And you can sign up on the link in the show notes or go to my website, lærkethelovecoach.com, L-A-E-R-K-E, and I would say, even if you do have other plans tonight, then sign up anyway, because you will get a replay tomorrow. This is one of the few workshops I've decided to record. But it's always better to join live if you can, because I'm going to offer a special Valentine's bonus only for the women on the call. So let's dive into today's topic. For some single women, and probably also men, all this Valentine's Day fuzz can easily make your brain tell you stories about how you are not where you're supposed to be in your life yet, and that people in relationships are much more happy than you, or that your life is not complete before you have a partner. All these are thoughts that can feel very true in the moment, but here's the thing. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. There is no right path in life. We all have a different journey and different learnings that we go through, and no one else's journey is right for you. No one can tell you where you are supposed to be now. Also, not everyone in relationships are happy. I do believe that we as humans are meant to seek connection and love, and that having someone to share life with, if you are compatible and you love each other, it feels better than being alone in general. But it doesn't mean that we should always be in a couple all of the time in our life. There is a time for everything, and being single is a great opportunity for introspection and growth, and also to strengthen your connection with yourself. This is a perfect time to practice self-love and get clear on your values and what you want to be a yes to and what you want to be a no to. And it's a time to up-level your standards, because honestly, this is one of the main reasons I see why women are not attracting the relationship they desire and deserve. Their standards are too low because they don't believe that they can aim higher, or they might have high standards in theory, but then they compromise and allow behavior that they're not aligned with. And I just want to say a few words about standards, because it's something people get confused about. Having high standards, it doesn't mean that you only want to date men who invite you for dinner at an expensive restaurant, or men who drive a certain car or look a certain way or wear expensive clothes. or buy you flowers all the time. This has nothing to do with having high standards. This is not the kind of standards I'm talking about. Having high standards means wanting to date a man who is reliable, someone who does what he says he will do. He keeps showing up and wants to spend time with you. He prioritizes you, he listens to you, and he remembers what you said. And he shows interest in you and speaks about having a future with you. And also he is proud to introduce you to his friends and family. Having too low standards, on the other hand, that could for instance be accepting last-minute invitations or late-night booty calls, dating a man who just want to see where things go and not really commit, or someone who just want to have fun, or dating a man where you have to push for the next date. So use your single time to get really clear on your standards, and then you also want to think about what personality traits and values that are important to you. What do you want if you can have exactly what you want? Because I'll tell you a secret, you can, or at least you 87% can. And then the last 13% is going to be the part that might be so much better than you were able to imagine. And then reflect on how you can be a match for that. How you can recognize and welcome into your life men that are aligned with that, and not allow those who aren't. What do you need to believe about yourself? Being single is also a perfect time to create a life where you fully take responsibility of your happiness and not delegate it to a future partner. You get to prioritize yourself and do all the things that light you up. And if you don't know what that is, then make it a goal to try 10 new things in 3 months, for instance, or 10 new things per month. Go out and find out what brings you joy outside your professional life. And that could be things like try a new sport or sign up for a conference or lecture in a topic that you don't know anything about. Listen to a new podcast, read a new book, go out with your friends and try new restaurants. Watch a movie that you would normally not want to watch. Learn to play an instrument or sign up for a language class. Expand your horizon and get to know new sides of yourself. You want to create a happy and fulfilling life now, and this also means not putting your big dreams on hold because you're waiting for a partner. Even if we're talking about traveling around the world, buying a new house or starting a business, whatever you dream of, go do that thing now, because this will allow you to live a much more interesting and enriching life where you can be less attached to the outcome of dating, which again will bring you into this magical vibe of being a woman who is living life to the fullest and enjoying herself. You want to think of yourself and your life as the party he wants to join, not you waiting for him to invite you to his party. And you want to do this for yourself, of course, but the bonus is that when you access this vibe, it is very attractive for a man. Creating a single life full of activities and humans that you love and nurturing your relationship with yourself also makes you more capable of attracting not just any relationship, but a healthy and loving relationship that you can feel happy about most of the time. So, in order to get into this mindset, you can go through this little thought experiment with me now. Imagine you had only 5 months left as a single woman. You have 5 months and then you're going to meet and marry the love of your life. And you will never ever be single again for the rest of your life. Then what do you want to do with that time? How would you then feel about being single? And how would you choose to think of yourself? As someone who is alone or someone who is free? Would you feel sad or would you have fun? Would you be waiting for the one to finally come or would you enjoy life to the fullest? And what are some things you would do that you are not doing today? What is the vibe you would have when you go out? Someone who's closed off and guarded due to past disappointment? Or someone who's giving off a warm and playful vibe just because it feels better and is more fun? So you want to ask yourself how you can make the best out of your life regardless of your relationship status. And how you can use this time as a single woman to up-level your thoughts about yourself so you can be an energetic match to the partner you want on a long term. So answer these questions for yourself and then start making some powerful decisions in your life. This is what I had for you today in this short bonus edition, and I hope you found it useful. But before I end this episode, I also want to share some fun facts about Valentine's Day and other official and unofficial traditions related to love and romance that all plays out in February. So I'm not big on history, but I did a bit of research and it seems that there is no clear agreement about the origin of Valentine's Day. But it's clear that the tradition didn't become a big thing before a famous chocolate company started in 1860s to produce heart-shaped boxes of chocolate, and a big postcard company started selling Valentine's cards, and that was in 1913. And the amount spent on Valentine's Day to show love and affection seemed to be growing year by year. So last year in 2022, the amount spent on Valentine's Day gifts in the United States alone was $24 billion. So this tradition only recently found its way to Scandinavia, where I am from, and in Denmark we didn't really adopt this tradition before late 1990s. However, we know about another tradition which in its origin is Irish, and it's not related to Valentine. It's a romantic tradition that plays out in February every 4th year on Leap Day. And according to this ancient tradition, Leap Day is the only day where a woman can propose to a man. And if the man declines the marriage proposal, he would have to pay a penalty to the woman. And in Denmark, this penalty would consist of 12 pairs of stockings and 12 pairs of gloves, or it could be a pretty dress. So you could imagine someone, a smart woman for instance, who was out of stockings, thinking strategically about this, proposing marriage to someone that was way above her socio-economic class, and then count on him saying no. Apparently this tradition dates back to the 5th century, where an Irish nun got sick and tired of men taking too long to propose, and I'm sure some of you can relate. So she suggested this idea, and then later in 1288 it was passed as a law in Scotland. And just one more fun fact. The 15th of February is the unofficial holiday Single Awareness Day, and it was, according to Wikipedia, created by a high school student who in 2001 got really tired of all the fuss about celebrating romantic couples and started this tradition as a celebration of single people and their friendships. So with his friends he organized parties and they sold chocolate and candy at a huge discount. Now this tradition spread throughout the States, and although it's an unofficial holiday, it's still known in many parts of the world. And the high school student, Dustin Barnes, he just happened to meet a girl at one of his single awareness parties. And they got married. So this could be an idea too. Have a big single awareness party tomorrow and be open to being surprised. Now, in its core, Valentine's Day is all about celebrating love and showing it to the ones you love. So I want you to remember that love is so much more than romantic love. It's the love you have for yourself, for the humans in your life, your friends, family, and colleagues, and people you don't even know, but love because of the value they've given you and what they have meant to you. So choose to celebrate all that love and enjoy your single life while you can, because then you will meet the man of your dreams before you even know it. Take care and have a beautiful day. If you like what you're hearing on this podcast and you want to get support from a coach on your love journey, I invite you to book a free consult call with me. You will find the link in the show notes. And also, don't forget to subscribe, and I would love it if you would rate and review this podcast, and then you'll also help other women find it.